Hello everyone, welcome back to another informative video. In this video you are basically looking at an experiment, right? And this experiment is basically to see how mint grows in a floating system, right? And as you can see, this is basically styrofoam floating in nutrient solution, right? So it is being oxygenated. As you can see, if you look here, you will see some bubbles, right? You will see some bubbles right there, right? It is being aerated or oxygenated. um so the whole idea behind this is to see how prolific it will grow, and see how fast it grows as well, and just overall seeing how well it does in this kind of hydroponic system. We find that one of the major problems with growing mint vertically is that you find that you get a lot of bacterial and fungal issues with uh, the humidity, the relative humidity around the mints in each vertical pot is kind of high, because water is constantly kind of moving from one pot to the next and raising the humidity, which it gives a conducive environment for fungal and bacterial pathogen growth. So this is what I'm talking about. The water runs from the top um, pot and comes down to the next pot, and as you can see, the water is basically wetting the leaves. So that is, the leaves are basically constantly being wet, and then when the leaves develop any bacterial, any fungal issue, it can also transfer into the perlite and then runs down and goes through the other pot, and then goes on the other mint leaves, right? So this is what I'm talking about with the vertical system. Of course, there are other ways to do it so that the leaves don't get wet, but that is going to be another experiment, because as you can see, the mint can grow using this method. So it's just to do some tweaking, but I'm just showing you the issues we are having now with the mint with this method, like allowing the water to drip through the bottom and going through the pot. The idea with this system is that when you use the styrofoam, you're basically separating the water from the leaf foliage. In other words, you're seeing the vegetative part of a plant, the leaves, the foliage above the styrofoam and the roots below. So at no point in time the water from below is going to actually splash any of these leaves. So you find that the leaves are in a more a better humidity, in terms of not too humidity not being too high, and they're not being exposed to any kind of splashing of water onto the leaves or any kind of wetting, right? They are much more comfortable, as in they are drier. We're basically going to see how well they grow in this system, right? So I'll keep updating, and this is and they have just been planted this morning. This is how they look now, right? This is how they look now. And remember, this is basically to prevent an experiment to see how the plant grows, and to prevent a major issue that we are having in terms of the bacterial spot and the fungal spots, and so on the leaves of the mint, because as you know, the leaves are what we want to basically use, right? And of course the stem as well, but mostly the leaves. So we want the leaves to be as pretty as possible. So as you can see, they are pointing upwards now, in the first video, if you watched it, you would have seen that the plants were kind of bending over. Obviously because they were just planted and they were getting used to the new environment, right? These that you see here, these were basically cuttings, or these are basically cuttings that are placed in it, in the solution, or in the system to take root. Now remember, this was last week, people. Now tell me, how is the experiment going? Right, it is looking positive so far because the plants are have, you know, straightened and the leaves are looking beautiful. Right, take a look at the leaves. Right, let me see if I can zoom. Right, look at that. The leaves are looking clean. Right, and this is success so far for me in this experiment, because this is one of the objectives to get clean leaves, right? And to actually the idea was to prevent the leaves, using the styrofoam, prevent the leaves from touching the water, or from water splashing onto it. So the leaves are dry now, and yeah, so look at this. Wow, so the cutting has taken root, it has started to root, right? So, and this is just from the 28th, this is the last week. So as you can see, yeah, they are doing well, right? The cuttings, right? See, the cuttings are doing well. These are cuttings, as you can see, right? One of the things I wanted to show you too is that if you look at these, you find that they are basically being, you don't want it to be too far down on the into the waters, like the leaves want to go through the hole. No. So that is why these were planted with the perlite attached to the, because these were set in cups, right? With perlite. So these are perlite still attached to the roots. So they were just placed in the hole, and the perlite basically helps to keep the plant stem in one location in terms of it's going down too far into the water, right? So one of the things is, based on what I'm seeing now, is that this can be used, like you could use the Oasis cubes to set the cuttings, right? And then you just push the Oasis cubes into the slot like that, and it will prevent the stem from going down too far into the water. So what you are looking at is the mint experiment. I just want to give you a bit of update. As you can see, the mints, they are growing well, right? The leaves are looking quite beautiful. No spots or anything like that. So one of the what we wanted to find out with growing the mint this way is basically how it will propagate, right? So obviously we want the mint to be producing prolifically, continuously, right? So one way that the mint does this is basically sending out new shoots. But what is happening now is that, let me lift the styrofoam and show you something. Look underneath. You see underneath, what you are looking at, these that you are looking at, those are basically new shoots or new growth, right? These here, these that you are looking at, new growths, right? There we have some more there, and so on. So those are new growths, and they are trying to find their way to the light. So that is why they are growing upwards. So as you know, plants, the shoots, they are basically positively, what I would say, positively phototrophic. So they will always grow towards the light. Now, as you can see, there are many shoots underneath. So that is basically how the plant continues its growth and propagate itself, right? So what I'm thinking now that I'm seeing that what is happening here, we might have to bore some more holes through the styrofoam, as many as possible, and then these new growths that you are seeing will basically find their way through the holes, and then that is your new growth, right? So while you are cutting from above, you basically have these new growths coming through to give you that continuation that you're looking for. So this is what it looks like so far. So tomorrow I'm going to basically bore some holes in the styrofoam just to facilitate these new growths, right? So that is something positive, right? That is something positive that we are seeing there, and the experiment is going well so far. It is going well so far, and that is the plan that we are that I am planning, right? So tomorrow we'll bore some more holes and see how the new shoots basically come up through those holes, right? And these are basically how the holes look. So we are going to put more of these in this one with the mint, right? So this is just an update, and if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comments area. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.